Let's explore a fascinating study about bird vision and how it has evolved based on light conditions in their habitats. So, the aim of this study was to investigate how the sensory systems of birds have evolved in relation to specific ecological pressures. For example, light availability in their habitats. So, we know that evolutionary theories suggest that organisms with traits that improve survival and fitness in their environments tend to be selected over generations. For birds, visual acuity and light sensitivity are critical for tasks like navigation and avoiding predators, so we would expect their visual systems to evolve in ways that would maximize their fitness under different light conditions. We would expect a bird with nocturnal habits, as we see the owl to the picture on the left, to have larger cornea and axial lengths in their eyes rather than diurnal species like the picture to the right. Um, so this study examines how environmental differences in nocturnality causes changes in both eye structure and visual brain patterns, and we will dive deeper into how evolution shapes sensory systems based on environmental needs. So this study mentions three different hypotheses. The first one is about eye size and light sensitivity. So evolutionary pressures in low light environments would likely favor larger eyes and corneas, since they would increase the amount of light that would enter the eye. So the researchers tested whether natural selection was a main source for the evolution of eye structure in alignment with environmental light conditions. The second hypothesis is about coevolution of visual brain centers. So in this context, coevolution refers to the way different parts of the bird's visual systems, like the eyes and specific brain regions, have evolved together in response to such light conditions. This hypothesis aligns with the concept that structures and organs working closely together, like the eyes and brain centers, might evolve together over time rather than separately, meaning that a bird with larger eyes would have a larger brain region for processing visual information. And finally, the third hypothesis is about how nocturnal habits, and dark habitats might influence eye size in different ways. If nocturnality itself leads to eye adaptations, it may suggest that sensory evolution is influenced not only by the physical environment, but also by behavior, as shown in the figure right below. So to analyze these hypotheses, the researchers collected data from 47 different sources that covered a total of 760 different species, and they ran several statistical tests on them through RStudio. So what did they find? When looking at the figure on the left right here, we see that the results confirm that birds in darker environments do indeed evolve larger corneas. But we also see that there was no increase in visual brain center size in nocturnals. The researchers discovered that while eye and brain centers usually co-evolve, in low light species like nocturnal birds, this relationship isn't always as straightforward. In these birds, corneal size increases, but brain center for visual processing don't scale up as expected. This finding suggests a trade-off. In low light conditions, bird eyes are more focused on light sensitivity than on processing visual details. This pattern we see in the model is called mosaic evolution, meaning that parts of the visual system evolve independently rather than a single unit based on specific needs of each environment. This could suggest that nocturnality leads to eye structure adaptations rather than changes in the brain structure. So, what is so significant about these results? The study gives us insight on how complex traits like sensory systems evolve. It highlights that evolution isn't always straightforward. Firstly, the study sheds light on how sensory systems like vision evolve in response to environmental challenges and natural selection. They will adapt as to what they see is fit for their environment they live in. Large corneas improve light sensitivity, but in low light species, visual brains don't get larger, likely because processing detail isn't as crucial in those specific environments. It also emphasizes mosaic evolution and how it plays a role in avian visual systems, But most importantly, through this study, we recognize the importance of studying animal sensory adaptations to better help us understand evolution and survival strategies across species. So overall, this study concludes that birds' eyes and visual brain systems do not evolve through a simple, uniform pathway, but rather through multiple specialized evolutionary paths in which we see this kind of evolution in species all across the world.